Hello Heartline family, Brad Phillips here with Puppy Steps Training. We're going to be doing Raina's demonstration today. I am very excited to send her to you. I think she's an amazing dog. I've had a lot of fun training her, and I think you're really going to enjoy her. So what we're going to do is I'm going to cover the Puppy Steps Training, that whole 6-week program that Zoe went through first, and then we're going to jump into the hunt training and talk a little bit about it. But a lot of this is going to be repeat information you already know with Zoe, and so it's just going to be the exact same so you can be consistent with Raina. However, I am going to go through the entire program just like I would with someone getting their first time dog from us, just to show that she knows everything and that she's proficient at it, and it's a good reminder if anything. So we'll hop into the Puppy Steps Training portion, and we'll cover all five steps, which are socialization, manners, obedience, house training, leash training. So as you know, we go through a really intense socialization process, and that is the most important to me. What that is the first 2 weeks that we had her, we took her out, got her used to different people, different places, sounds, animals. Guns was a big one, and birds. Those are two that of course she had to go through in order to become a good hunting dog. She had to be broke of any fear associated with that. And so we really try and get them into as many new experiences as possible. That way we can prevent having an anxious or a timid or an aggressive dog. So she did really well with that. She's not timid at all. Seems to be really well mannered. Never seems real, I don't know the word, aggressive or timid when it comes to new situations. So very happy with that. Next we'll get into her manners. And so anytime we pull her out, whether it be through the crate or through the house door or gate, anything like that, I expect her to stay. And so we'll pull her out right now. Okay, good girl. She really is just a beautiful dog, and she's awesome. So next would be her greeting. Anytime I call her to me, hey Raina, come here. Raina. I expect her to sit before she gets any attention. That's a good girl. And she has a lot of high energy, and so jumping was a big thing for her. We spent a lot of time working on that, as well as you're going to want to make sure that you enforce that if she ever tries to jump. And her greeting's going to help. But the nice thing about a hunting dog is it can handle a little bit more pressure, and so if for some reason she just keeps wanting to jump, don't be afraid to lift the knee and try and catch her in the chest. Just let her know that that's not acceptable. As well as we've instilled the command off. And so if she tries to jump up on the crate or up on you, you can tell her off and expect her to get down. Come here. Now we went and shot birds this morning, so she hasn't eaten anything, so I'm going to give her her full meal. And anytime I do feed her, I expect her to hold a sit stay. Raina, come here. Sit. Stay. Now our mealtime is a great time to really increase those stays, add some distractions, some distance, as well as lengthen that time. Our 3Ds, distance, duration, distraction. Now, and that is big with her, make sure you're always increasing those stays. The other nice thing with the hunting training, you really don't have to tell her to stay. I've worked it so that anytime she sits, she's expected to stay until released. Okay, good girl. And she has a wonderful stay. Good girl. Once again, we've worked on working out any aggression. She's never shown any towards me or towards any of my trainers. She does get a little protective over bully sticks, and that's just towards other dogs. But so anytime you do give her a bully stick, something like that, and Zoe tries to take it, you might hear some growling, anything like that. So I would try and avoid giving one of them something to chew on and not the other. Just trying to avoid those mishaps. But I also spend time hands in the food bowl, making sure that she doesn't show any type of food aggression. And we've really slowed her feeding down. She used to be so driven by food that she would just swallow it all whole and then have problems that way. So we've used a slow feeding bowl, really slowed her down, as well as a lot of that food drive has become less dominant as her bird drive, so which is a great thing. But if she is going to eat this slow, maybe we'll wait till after to give her the rest of her food. Oh, sweetheart. Good girl. Alright, we'll take it away. We'll feed you after. Good girl. As well, I mean, we make a point to handle all of our puppies, making sure that they're not aggressive over any part of their body, such as their tails, their paws, their ears, things like that. Chewing, that is going to be a big one for her. She is in the middle of teething. I think she still has a couple more to come out, especially her canines. And so you're going to want to be on top of that, especially in these next 2 weeks with the transition. And we train for chewing on a base of avoiding and replacing. You can avoid giving her free access to shoes, to toys, to things of that sort. That's going to be your best fight against an accident happening. However, there's always going to be something she can chew on, whether it's her bed or a couch or a table leg. And so you're going to want to look at what she's chewing on and then replace it with something of equal texture. And so if she's chewing on something hard, I'll give her a bully stick. If she's chewing on something like her bed, I'll give her something soft and plush that she can really dig into. So yeah. Now we've also worked with her around children. It's always a good thing with any of your puppies though, if they are playing with small children, just have the kids have something that they can run and dangle off to the side, so it gives her something that she can play with, as well as if they get nervous they can throw the toy and Raina will go and get it, and that will avoid those accidents such as grabbing a pant leg or an arm or anything like that that can be mistaken for aggression. Now, let's see. A couple other manners that, or the last two manners that we have, are dealing with her mouth. One would be drop it, and so I expect her to release, and this is a big one that we've really worked on. So I just tell her drop it, and expect her to physically give it up. And she shouldn't have a problem giving it up. Now that is one that we really had to work on, especially with birds. She did not want to give them up, and so we've spent a lot of time working with drop it. And so just make sure that she physically gives it up. Now, with her, if she ever does not want to give something up, there's a couple things that you can do. One, if it's long enough, you can just grab it and hold really still, and so just makes it unappealing. That way she can't pull it, she can't really chew, because if she lets go of that grip, you're going to pull it out. However, I won't ever yank on it. You don't want it to become a tug of war, especially where she's a bird dog. Now, if she ever, well, what I did to really work on it, when she wouldn't give up the birds, you just reach right inside her mouth and you press down on her tongue. See how she just opens up real wide? And so, like if she ever has a bird that she doesn't want to let go, you can grab it real tight out here, stick that thumb in her mouth, and press on her tongue, and she'll just open right up. Yeah. So, lastly, would be gently, just making sure that she's very soft when she takes food or anything from you. And so if she's really excited, I'll tell her gently before we even try to give her a treat. If she's just like this, I'll just present it, and if she tries to grab it, I'll pull it back and say gently. But she's very, very gentle. As well as I'll always give it in the palm of my hand, that way she can take it with her tongue and her lips, whereas if I give it between my thumb and forefinger, she might come over the top of my fingers and bite me. So, but she's super gentle. That's actually one of my favorite things about these pointers, and most bird dogs actually, is they have these real floppy lips, and it makes it so that they're very gentle carrying birds. A lot of times those lips will fold under when they pick up a bird. So, but with that, we are going to move into our commands, and we'll go to that. So we have 8 main commands that we work on. Come, watch me, sit, down, sit, stay, down, stay, great, and go to bed. So, come and watch me are our 2 most basic commands. Watch me, as you know, is just to get her eye contact. Watch me. Okay, good girl. And that's actually a great command for hunting. A lot of times I don't take advantage of it as much as I should. But say she's running around in the field and you just saw her pass a bird or pass a down bird and she's really looking for it, you can ask her to watch and then maybe give her some direction. But she's focused. But I'll try and catch her off guard in a little while. Second would become, and comes a big one, and one that we've really worked on a lot with her, and one that I would suggest you just keep on working with her. I would suggest getting a long lead. I have one that's 30 feet and I have one that's 50 feet. And I would take her out and I would really stretch her distance, get her distracted, maybe a toy or something, or maybe even a bird out there. Get a distance away, tell her to come. If she doesn't immediately come, give her a little snap on the lead. But I would expect her to come to me. Raina, come! Oh, good girl. As well, and I'll show you this at the end, is you can work on that same thing with the shock collar, with the e-collar. Tell her to come. If she doesn't immediately come, give her a little beep. And if she's really struggling, well, I'll talk about this in a minute when we get into the hunting stuff. So the next 3 commands have hand signals. That's sit, scoop over the nose, down, just taking her down, and then stay. Come here. Sit. Okay, good girl. Now, with down, I'll always put her in a sit first. Come here. Come here. Sit. Down. Stay. Okay, she does have great stays, and I think to really show you her length, we'd be here for a few minutes, so we'll just keep it short. Come here. Hey, sit. And like I said, stays there basically as an option. She knows that she should stay anyway, anytime she sits. Down, I probably would give her a stay, but as for sit, that's kind of optional there. Okay. Now, crate and go to bed, as you know, they don't necessarily have hand signals. More requires me using body language to really guide her in what we're doing. As you can see, she's kind of following my hands anyway. So go to bed. Raina, go to bed. Girl. As well as she's expected to stay. Okay, good girl. Same thing with crate. Raina, crate. Good girl. Okay. So that's it with our commands. As you already know, I guess I didn't mention it at the beginning, but okay is our marker and our release word. Marks the correct behavior, releases from a stay. No is our correction term. If she does something that she's not supposed to, if it's something simple like breaking a stay, I'll tell her no, have her do it again. Outside. Outside, let's go outside. Okay. Okay, good girl. Once again, I apologize for not having a cameraman, and she got the other one out now too. Good girl. So now we'll move into our crate training and our house training. So crate training, we've spent a lot of time making sure that she's comfortable in the crate. I understand that you probably won't use it as much. I still would suggest using it when she's a puppy. Use it as an asset. And she's very comfortable in the crate. She's good for 4 hours during the day without needing a break, as well as she can sleep through the night for 8 to 10 hours without needing a break as well. With the house training, you do have to give them 100% supervision in the next couple weeks, making sure that she doesn't have an opportunity to sneak off or to have an accident. And so if you can't give her that 100% supervision, I would stick her in the crate. That way she's not having an accident. And I can't stress that enough with the house training, making sure that constant supervision. I say if you can't give it to her, in the crate. You really want to step foot or get off on the right foot, and so you want to make sure that you're paying attention to her and she's not having an opportunity to get lost or get confused and have an accident. So as well as I would keep a small leash on her while she's in the house. That way if she does try and squat, you can quickly grab her and take her outside, as well as it's an easy way for a quick little leash correction. But she's been phenomenal with house training, and probably one of my best dogs. I can't even tell you the last time that she even tried to pee in the house, so I've been really happy. And that goes the same with at my house. She spent quite a few, a couple weeks just at my house with me while we were training, and so never had an accident there. Wearing the bell. Like I said, she is kind of jumpy. And she's actually very much of a cuddly dog. At the house, she would come and just sit by my feet and want me to pet her all the time. So house training, our standard is 2 hours. I think she's far surpassed that, and she can go quite a bit longer. Now, I'm going to teach you how to transition the bell the same way that I teach them. And so what I do is I take the bells and I sit them in front of me, and we basically turn it into a game, and I call it targeting the bell. And she knows exactly what we're doing. She's a very smart dog and picks up very quickly. And so I'll just hold this out in front of her. Okay, and I'm going to treat her every time she hits the bell. And this is where you can kind of control how loud she rings it. After I let her touch the bell a couple times, then we'll move over to the door. And I'll do the same thing, step her out, dangle them on the door. And she knows what we're doing. Okay, and I'll do this a couple times. Okay, and I'll switch the word to outside. Outside. And then we'll go out this time. Outside. Wait. Okay. Okay. Okay, okay, good girl. Now, from that point forward, I would stand real close, and I would let her go out and ring the bell, and I would go out every time after she rang the bell. Okay, good girl, good girl. Okay, come back in. Okay, now where she's already went both, I'm not going to spend a lot of time out there. I'm just going to give her an opportunity to go out and come right back in. It's always important that when she does ring the bell that you do go out and give her an opportunity to go. Now, with that we'll move into her. With her leash training, we do take them on a lot of long lead walks, just for her to be a dog to run around and sniff. And most of those, we did start with a long lead, and most of them were our hunting trips, letting her go out and flush birds and that sort. After I was comfortable, now she's off leash, and she goes out and does her thing. And that's a great time to work on come. If you're just out letting her run around, call her to come to you every minute or two, really work on that command. As well as we have her attention walk, which I have turned into a heel, and that's just getting her to walk next to me without pulling on the leash, keeping that J shape. Along with her leash walking, she also knows the command easy. Just telling her that she's pulling and she needs to. It's important that you stay on her with the heel, and if she gets too distracted with her nose, you can just simply kind of give her a little leash correction like that, lift her head up, try and keep her focused on what we're doing instead of hunting.